Do you feel like you're asking God for support, maybe praying to Spirit, Creator, for some solution, some answer to your problems? Well, I wanted to share with you a bit of a story from the Old Testament, from the book of Exodus, in hopes that it'll inspire you as you continue on your manifesting journey. Hi, and welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Fola Veritas, and here we talk all things magic, occult, esoterica, in the hopes that it'll help support you in connecting you to your personal truth and power. And if you're not familiar about my life story, I grew up in a very Christian home, so a lot of these old ancient texts are very much ingrained in my mind and my awareness. And as a magician, as an occultist, I see that there's a lot of power in the Bible, Old and New Testament. They are stories, they are themes, and there's reasons we're supposed to go through them. So, whatever your personal experience is with the Bible, some religious trauma, most likely, if you're anything like my life experience, please just have an open heart and an open mind as we go into the book of Exodus, chapter 14. So prior to this point, this is the story where Moses has now led the Israelite people out of Egypt, where they were enslaved, doing hard labor and work and living in not the ideal conditions under Pharaoh's rule. And now the Egyptians, all of a sudden, because of God's will, had a change of heart. And the Pharaoh now is leading the Egyptians after the Israelite people. And now they've come up to the Red Sea and they're not sure where to go. And there are pillars of cloud, there's pillars of light kind of surrounding and protecting the Israelite people. These are sent by God, and these angels, my understanding is, are supporting them. And it says here in verse 21, "And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord led the sea with the strong east wind all night. And he made the sea into dry land, and the waters split. Then the children of Israel came into the midst of the sea on dry land, and the waters were to them as a wall from their right and from their left." Now, I wanted to just talk a bit about that because I had not really noticed the words that were used in that particular verse, where it said that God basically was creating movement during the night, all night. And that just reminds me that sometimes we're going through life and we have these challenges and we don't really know what we're supposed to do, where we're supposed to go, if there'll be an answer or a solution. And we can get in our heads, we can get into the worry, the anxiety, the fear, And yet, this remembering, when I've read this story, I've watched movies about the Old Testament, like Exodus, the Ten Commandments is a great example. Oftentimes, right in the moment, it seems as though most stories, when they are showing this depiction of the Red Sea being parted, that it's happening right away. But it says right here that there happened a wind all night. It took time for the waters to be divided. It took time for the children of Israel to then step into the midst of the sea, to feel the sense of protection. And so even for you, dear listener, in your life, maybe you've been asking God for guidance and for that solution to show up, and you're still waiting, looking at your watch, kind of wondering, okay, God, when's it going to happen? The reminder for you here is that it's okay to wait, that there's oftentimes something even bigger. But I want to add to this that I was listening to a YouTube video of a rabbi talking about this story, and he explained it from a different lens after reading the Hebrew that really resonated. Basically, his summary was that it's not just the parting of the Red Sea that matters. The next actual step was that the sons of Israel had to go into the water. It was like nothing actually happened until they made those first steps into the sea. And then from there, they were protected, and this wall, this division, and the ability to move through something that seemed impossible, right? It became possible. And so for yourself, what little step of faith, what actionable step is maybe God calling to you to take? And maybe you've been kind of in fear of, oh, will that manifestation actually happen? Or will it not? And you haven't taken a step, you haven't taken action, which is one of the important parts or pillars of manifestation. We know this from law of attraction. You can't just visualize and see things and feel the energy and hope for the best. Like, there has to also be actionable steps. Otherwise, you most likely are not seeing manifestations happening in your life. If I want to date someone and I keep talking and visualizing about having this perfect partner, but I feel the avoidance or make myself go away from every dating app or dating site because I don't want to put in the time and energy, well, most likely, then it's not going to happen. Of course, we can meet people in all sorts of ways, but if I isolate in my house and not actually put myself out there, then of course I'm not going to meet anyone. So with this understanding of being in the moment of patience so that God can do the miracles and help pave the way, and also you having to take one of the actionable steps, even when things seem like they're not yet moved. I think these are two really vital steps, things to be aware of, parts that can really amplify your manifesting power. So I hope with this, you can look throughout your days, continue your manifesting and visualizing so that you can create that desired life. And tap into the fact that you actually are a powerful creator. You are a powerful magician being with the tools, the elements at your disposal so that you can create the life you want. And if you like this video, if you found this information helpful, I invite you to share it with someone who may need to hear it. Sharing is caring, as I like to say. And so putting this information out there helps show the algorithm as well that other people can watch and benefit from this video. And if you're new or even visiting again but haven't subscribed, why don't you hit that subscribe button? You can also join our community membership where that shows that extra bit of support and helps me to continue creating this content for you. Lots of juicy things coming out this October. At the end of the month, I'll be releasing my second book, The Divine Names of God, and I'm super excited to be sharing that with you. A great way to tap into your manifesting potential and create transformations in your life, mind, body, and soul. So be sure to check back here. You can head to some of the links in the description, read a bit about me, and I look forward to hearing about how you found this video in the comments below. Until the next time, folks.